Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 292. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Keith Ellis, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Hey, always a blast, man. Always looking forward to finding out what's going to come out next. I get to be 292. That's, how do you do it forwards and backwards? I still get to be 292.
For people who don't know, you were originally you were a guest on my show 2 years ago, but because I was recording from the phone, it looked like crappy quality. But now I'm doing Skype recorder, so it's gotta be cut in half. I'm on the right, you're on the left, so it's more, I guess, professional. But the reason I did the phone is so you can see the transition. Long story, but we can get to that in a bit.
Okay.
But basically the whole point of my show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of disabilities and learning disabilities. But you should never give up or have people label you, and you should prove to them you can still amount to something. And if you don't mind me for asking or saying, do you feel eyes on you, or is it just me?
Just you.
I'm focusing on you, but at the same time, I feel like a puppet staring at me.
Hey, I gotta have somebody watching my back.
That's true.
Somebody's always gotta watch your back. You never know who. So that's my little, that's my angel in the back.
Hey, you help me, I help you. That's how I work. So starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm still doing my comedy. I'm still out there doing clean comedy, still traveling, still making people laugh, and just trying to make the best of every day. Just, doing the things that I do, trying to help people out, doing fundraisers, and being an example as a positive comedian. Or should I say black comedian, or just comedian in general, either way.
Hey, it's uncensored. Freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. You can say whatever you want. Apparently,
that's true nowadays from what I've seen on the news and with some of the elections going on. Apparently, you can be free. We're in trouble now. There's no FCC rulings anywhere.
That's true. And we can get to that in a bit. But the first thing I want to ask you is, what were some of your favorite charity events you worked in? And how did you start your career, for people who want to know?
Some of the favorite charity events, I'll say dealing with support against domestic violence. So I enjoy doing that. There's an organization that I deal with now that I am the celebrity spokesperson for. It's called Help Fix the Hurt, and they deal with a lot of women that have gone through a significant amount of abuse or even, jail time, things like that. And they're acclimating themselves back into the system, but also it was because of a family member they had that was killed. So they asked me to be a part of that, which is that influenced a lot of my decision on to work with them. So getting into business, it was like years ago, just because somebody made a bet about me being funny and would I get on stage. It happened. I got on stage. I won second place. And I figured, why not cover that in the comedy portion of it? And then it became acting and comedy acting, movies, things like that. So I just kind of, somehow that bet kind of pushed me into more areas.
All right, now let's have a little fun with it. What movies, TV shows were you part of? And can you give us some examples of your work?
Let's see, started off with Waiting to Exhale. I was an extra, and then I got bumped up to a stand-in. And then other movies came along, like Three Kings, Breaking All the Rules, Any Given Sunday, nice little speaking part in, just a small part in Twisted with Samuel Jackson, worked with George Clooney, Jamie Foxx, a couple of TV spots with Meredith Baxter with Family Ties. But other than that, it's just, my thing is just I didn't push for, it's not pushing for stardom, it's just I enjoy what I do. So whatever happens in the process, I'm cool with that.
I hear you. The next question I'm gonna ask you is, could you give us some examples of your stand-up? Like, can you do some stand-up right now? So I like things to be interactive. So I don't want to play
you asked me to sit down earlier. Now I got to back up because you do stand-up. Stand-up. He's like, you can sit down, Keith, or you can stand up. Well, make up your mind. Can I sit down, stand up? My stand-up is just, it's all across the board. It's black, it's white. It's just how I see it. When I do certain shows, my stand-up, it deals with the reality of even what's going to be happening with the election that is already taking course to the new president-elect. So I will talk about everything from we don't know what's going to happen in society right now, but still got to be supportive, but you still have to find the funny in it at the same time. So I did a wine tour not too long ago, and luckily I was able to sit in front of the bus, which was really nice. I was happy to know that it hasn't kicked in yet, that I was in the back. So you see, that's how it's going to be. No one knows. Everyone's afraid they're going to be deported. This is going to happen, that. So comedy's going to be across the board, a little bit of everything, man.
A while ago I was interviewed by, haven't talked to you in a while, but I did an interview from this woman from Fox News. I'm trying to think of her name. I call her Miss Marshall. Well, Leslie Marshall. And I don't know if you know her, Leslie Marshall.
Sounds familiar.
She's the woman with the red hair. She's occasionally on Fox News.
No, because I know Fox, but I know there's another person I work with that was also on the movie Twisted that is also at Fox. I think she's with Fox 5. And she's one of the commentators on Fox also. I know her name, Kimberly, yes, but that one I don't recall.
Hey, if you can hook me up, I appreciate it.
Okay, because that was in San Francisco, and her husband was the mayor at the time.
That is really cool. I didn't know that. The reason I bring it up is Leslie Marshall asked me, she wanted me on the show, and I can send you the interview. It's not in video. I want to do a video interview, start doing video interviews. But it's just an audio. I said, okay, better than nothing, right? So she invited me, and Trump at the time there's two things that I answered the wrong question for. And I don't mean, but the guys may know that I just have a nits. Sorry.
Okay.
And two questions that she wanted to cover. One, there's this handicapped girl who says she's for Hillary. I'm not for her. She belongs in jail for what she did. She's no ashamed. But she's defending Hillary, and she's saying, Trump doesn't see me, Trump doesn't hear me, Trump doesn't speak for me. She invited me on Beyond the Show to talk about that. At the same time, we are also talking about, Trump making fun of the handicapped reporter. Yeah. And she said to me, who at the very end of the show, who are you voting for? And I don't know, I guess I was leaning towards Hillary because I do want to keep my disability money. But at the same time, she's really freaking crooked. And with all the shit she did. And at the same time, I like Trump. He's like me, he has no filter. He just spews it out. He does say a lot of dumb shit. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, see what happens in a given moment. So yes, I did vote for Trump. And I'm like, see what happens. And all the shit hit the fan. And you're in the city. What is your preparation? Oh, before I ask you this. So she asked me who I'm voting for. I said, I don't know. She said, well, what do you mean you don't know? You have to vote for someone. And I don't know, a lot of people say, well, you have a learning disability, yet you voted for Trump when he was making fun of the handicap. And let me say this on this part. I'm not defending Trump or anything. But why is it okay? I don't know if you do it, but I know a lot of comedians out there, white comedians, black comedians, Asian comedians, they make fun of the word and disabled. And there's one person who comes to mind is Chris Titus. He's really funny. And he has a friend who's disabled, and he's a comedian. And it's funny to. I don't mean to sound racist, but I'm looking at it like this. You make a lot of black jokes, correct?
Yeah, there's 50-50 in it, yeah.
All right, and there's a lot of, and Chris Titus and his friends make a lot of handicap jokes. So, with, I didn't mean to piss you off by that. I'm not trying to make a point, but you make a lot of black jokes, he makes a lot of handicap jokes, but where does the line cross saying, yeah, it's funny, I can do it, you can do it, and Trump, I guess he didn't do it, I'm not making excuses for him. I guess he was being an asshole, but he was trying to make people laugh. He made fun of his handicapped reporter, but yet they're giving him shit about it. But when I do it and you do it, it's okay. So it's kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. You're saying you're in the entertainment world, it's okay to make racist jokes or whatever jokes, but when you're out in the real world, people turn it around on you. Do you think that's fair, or do you think it should be the same all around?
Well, okay, first thing, the voting. No one should be discussing who they're voting for.
Yeah.
Because all that does is bring up more opinions and people trying to convince one another. Plus, you make your own decisions. So, if you want to believe the media on Hillary or Donald, it doesn't matter. It's the media. The media is going to feed you, and you're going to be the one. You have to decide what food you want to eat, just like when it's poisonous from Monsanto's or you want to eat organic. Your choice. So when you look at the media, now you have a choice. Okay, who's telling the truth? Because Hillary doesn't make the decision. She makes the suggestion. She has people that back her that know what's going on. So it's not about Hillary going. It's about everybody that was a part of it. Just like the CEO of a company, if he's ripping it off, how does he rip it off when he's the one controlling everything that's in the company?
Yeah.
See, so you can't just attack that top dog. That's ignorant. You got to go deeper than that. So you're pointing at one person. The president doesn't make the decision. He still has to go to the House, the Senate, the Congress, everything else before he can press a button. So everybody's like, oh, he's temperamental. He could press the button. He doesn't have the button by his bed. So it's not like I'm going to get pissed up one morning. I'm going to wake up because I didn't get laid and I'm going to snap the button. He doesn't have that. So this whole thing to me, it's like it doesn't matter who I voted for. I'm still going to have to wake up tomorrow and go to work. And I'm still going to have to do what I do every day. So whatever's going to happen, I'm not going to be negative towards Trump or Hillary, whoever it was. I'm going to see, because it doesn't start with them. It starts with everybody on the bottom. We're the ones that have to work together. They can say whatever they want. Trump can go ahead and push it and say, hey, get a gun, whatever, and they're going to listen. Or we can stay down here and say, okay, let's make this thing work amongst ourselves, because we can change what's at the top, which you can if you come together. So, I mean, my logic is they're going to do what they're going to do. I'm still going to have to do what I'm going to do. My life has not changed from any president that's been in office as of yet. I mean, other than Lincoln freeing the slaves in certain unions and so forth. Ooh, all right, the Declaration of Independence. Ooh, I still deal with racism. Yes, it's still there and it's blatantly out there. So has it enhanced itself, or what? Trump spoke, a lot of people came to the surface. And now you see a lot of things where people showed you their true sides. So those people who were your friends, have you lost a lot of friends on Facebook because of going back and forth in the decision of Hillary and Trump? I didn't know you were a Hillary lover. Now they delete you as a friend. But before then, you were friends for 18 years. See the ignorance behind that? Right. That's the same thing as being on the playground, learning the other kids are black and the other kids are white, and now you've differentiated yourself. Now you're different. But if you never learned that, you would still stick together. So we're the ones that can do what we need to do. We're mature enough to make a decision to either support them, and if he starts doing things in an awkward, disenfranchised way that's destroying the United States, and I'm sure it's take care of that problem. This is not going to be, I mean, come on. You get pissed because one person drops a knee. Kaepernick, he drops a knee. You get pissed at him because of that. He's not being patriotic. And then you get pissed because you get that president, now you burn the flag. Now, what was the logic in burning the flag? You just got pissed at a football player, and now you got a president here elect, and now you're burning a flag. So the mindset is kind of childish and ignorant again. You're going to go buy another flag and burn another one. Flags are just objects. So what are you doing? You're just creating a flag. Oh, people are pissed off. Ooh, all right, I'm going to go burn another flag. Okay. It makes no sense. We're doing a lot of senseless things that is not achieving anything other than you can do the march, you can show the power behind the march, make it nonviolent, and then go from that point on and hopefully you can make a change. So my whole logic on that is just, man, you got 4 years of Trump, if that's the case. Let's see what he does. Sometimes you got to go into a house and renovate it in order to make a change. You can't just keep trying to smooth. You can't just keep trying to smooth the streets out every day. Well, Steve, let me call you right back, okay? Thanks.
Hey, anything
you can't just keep trying to smooth the street. Yeah, you just can't keep, okay, we put another person in there. Okay, Obama did what he did. Oh, okay, people got pissed off. Okay, before that, Bush, people got pissed off. It's like you don't seem to make anyone happy. But no one seems to be working together either. So Trump goes in there, he's going to renovate the whole place. He's already trying to change things. I don't want to stay in the White House. Okay, it's like, okay, he still wants to have his own rogue way of looking at things, but it's like, hey, let's just see what's going to happen January the 20th when he walks into office. Let's see the things, if they change, and he keeps a promise. Because all the dirt they pulled up on him, the bankruptcy, the lawsuits, what now? Who's going to build a wall? I'm not. I mean, is it employment? For who? But he's going to bring back employment, but he wants the Mexicans to build a wall, but he's going to bring back employment over here. So I don't know how this is all going to work out. All I know is it's going to be a comedy regime of just, there's going to be some jokes. There's going to be a lot of jokes. There's going to be a lot of pumpkins out there with hair like Trump's. So, I mean, it's life, man. You live, you die. But in between, what are you going to do? Frustrate people, aggravate people, piss people off, or you're going to come together and try to make it at least peaceful as you can.
No, absolutely.
And yes, I do. But I mean, I talk about black and white. So when you talk about Trump and there's entertainment, the comedians, they're out there talking about handicaps and things like that. But when you have a president who is supposed to be representing, in a sense, the comedian is not supposed to be a role model, in a sense. I mean, some are not role models, but you have a president where the United States and you have billions of people that are looking at this man. And you already seen the joke where it goes, grab me the pussy. It's already the word on TV now, right? It's like the FCC. It's already on TV. So whatever he says, they make it okay. Because now there's that word out there. Are we going to use a nigger word out there next? If he throws that out there, is everything he says, is it going to be okay to do? So that's the thing. Comedians are paid to go do that's their job. The president is supposed to be scandal free, no, as less violence as possible, making things better for America. If certain things are done and it's not better for America, then where's the example in this man or woman who's in that office, which is now it's Trump. So if he hasn't done anything in the past up to this point, if you look at his track record, what is he going to do now from that point on for the next 4 years?
Well, let me ask you something. You bring up a good point. Do you think, if going back in time now, when Obama was running, people like to play that game. I did vote for Obama because, I wanted change. But for people, and those two things I'll run past you. The first one is about Obama. Do you think people voted for him just because they believed in change? Or do you like the fact that people would try to corner you and say you're not voting for him because he's black? But you can't have it both ways.
I think a lot of people wanted to see change.
Yes.
But then a lot of people got nervous because there's a black guy in there. And the mentality of it is, to me, equates to a manager of a store. And when I say that, you have a black guy in a store, and because you have a black person in a store, does not mean he's going to hire more black people in the store. So, like, certain people go in there, you may get black people going, it's like, man, how come you hire some more black people? We got a black manager now. He's going to hire more black people. You hire the people that's going to do the job.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if they're black or white. You get the people that are qualified to do the job. If you want to text on your phone a lot, then you got to remove that person. So, the same thing, Obama's in office. Does that mean he's going to put more black people in those offices? Or are you still going to look at the right people to put in the office aside from trying to get a quota? Just because, he did what he did, and the funny part is, no one liked him for the first 4 years, but the power of the election, he went another 4 years. How's that? And there seems to be more people protesting, which is the weirdest thing. Seems like there's so many protests against Trump. You would think, how could he have won the race with so many protesters? Everything seems to lean in the favor of no, but he's where he's at. So whether it's the electoral votes or, it's the ones where popular votes, he is where he's at. So that's all it is. So it's just the same thing. Let's see what he does. He's going to put what he feels is best in the office. Is it going to be what he feels is best for the office? Or, Joe Pyle from here. Okay, he doesn't get his job back out here in Arizona. And it's like all he seemed like he was doing was attacking Mexicans from what is said. But now you're going to put him in the White House where he's going to direct how the wall gets built? Because he worked on the border, or he tried to we need to ship them back. So is that what he's hired? Is he building up his strategic team to actually make what he said happen? Everybody's getting deported. That is not legal.
No,
and the ones that may be who fought for the country, do they get to go back? Huh?
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Skype is acting up. But, just so I would like to have my own studio. Third time I will have you on the show, maybe we can go half on a studio. That would be nice. But, you talk about the wall. What's funny about it, it's that there is already a wall there. And no one likes to bring attention to it. So, if you already have the wall built, I think it was, I don't know if the Americans did it or the Mexicans did it, but there's a wall there already. Why can't you just extend it? That's number one.
You can extend it. Look, you can extend it, but you also have so many Border Patrol out there also. You can either hire more Border Patrol, you can hire more drones, more cameras. You can put all this stuff out there. And then what the next president after the 4 years says, take the wall down. It's like the Berlin Wall. It goes up, and then they take it down. So you can't stop people if they want to get in. You can't stop a criminal. If he wants it bad enough, he's going to figure a way out to get it, or he's going to get hurt getting it. There could be examples made, but that's just the nature of the beast. If you want to get over here, you're going to figure out a way. And that's what the criminals do in prison. They sit there and have enough time to calculate, to read, to understand the laws, to understand, blueprints, calculations. That's what they do. So building a wall, you can take that money and either hire more people on Border Patrol and you put people to work. So I don't get it. I don't get the thought process behind that. I really don't. Because to build a wall, it's going to take you how long?
A couple of years.
It's going to take you a while.
Yeah. It depends on how fast you do it.
Yeah, you throw a bomb at the wall, you crash a plane into the wall, you still got to repair the wall. I don't know. There's so many things behind it. It's just, is energy wasted, or is it just said to hype up people and make them think, like, oh, that made sense, build a wall. Next thing you know, are we Berlin? Is people scaling the wall, people going under the wall. There's already so many tunnels running around all over this country that's a mile deep, and you got 20, 30 feet, 30 miles of tunnel. You can get pretty much anywhere you want if you pay enough.
That's true, and it's funny, no one's bringing attention to that. There's a tunnel from Mexico to Canada. It's like, why don't you close the tunnel?
hey, you know there's more than one tunnel.
Right.
You know there's more than one tunnel. Everything out here, I mean, that's why I said the media only puts out what it wants to put out, and whether it's MSNBC, whether it's CNN, and people are looking at, why won't you tell the whole story? You know, it's just like Yahoo, it's like Twitter, it's like all those. They'll give you a picture of an incident, but they won't give you the full picture, but they'll give you a caption, see what happens next. And then you click on it, it's nothing. It's just all, I got to get your attention. I have to get you to look at this. I have to get you to click. We become a society of click counts. So if I can get you to, 4 billion looks over at this one photo, and it's like, it's nothing. The caption, look what happens next. This line comes to this kid, but it's in a glass case, but you can't see that.
Yeah.
But you see it running toward the kid. But like, why do we're always grabbing something to grab attention, So the media does the same thing. Criminal just broke prison, more at 7. But you want to tell me what area he's in? No, but you want me to turn back to the news and listen to it. So, I mean, I said the life is just enjoy it. Enjoy it and stop being in the drama world. Because that's the only way Facebook made it, because of drama. That's the only way any of these other social media is going to make it, because they use certain things just to continue to keep the drama going. And drama either gives you stress and a heart attack, or if you put more money in your pocket, that gives you stress and a heart attack.
Yeah, that's true. And
it's just, I don't get it.
I don't know if you heard about the radio signals received from space. But they go back a couple of thousand years, and instead of talking about that and agreeing that there's life in space, now let's talk about the protests, and let's talk about the racist assholes. It's like, really? I would rather hear about aliens in space than the same mindless BS that we do over and over again.
Well, I mean, that's, if you notice the media, if you can actually listen to the media, you will hear they're all facts, something, or email something, and the captions seem to be the same when they say it. Donald Trump does this and that, and then you go to another station, you hear the same thing. They're getting the same feed, and you're like, so no one's actually being themselves. When a friend made it to my attention, he brought to my attention what he said. No one's being a journalist anymore. A journalist brings you the news, and then actually what's happening. They're actually giving their sides of the story or their opinions. So that's not being a journalist. A journalist actually gives you what is being said.
Yeah.
They don't write it, they don't fudge it, they just bring it, and here it is. That's a journalist. I'm gonna tell you what happened here. And I feel, no, it's not about what you feel. It's about what happened. And that's all I'm seeing right now. No one's being an actual true journalist that I have come to notice. It's all just media. So the jokes are, like, you see the David Chappelle show. Loved how he brought it. Loved the opening. There was no laughter, but it was a piano player, and the woman played Hillary, and she sang the song. Okay, cool. David came out, said what he needed to say. He didn't get dirty with it. He just brought it just like it should be. He said, hey, you got to give respect to get respect. The fighting, the edging each other on, and the Trump rallies, and people punching each other. And now you look at the news, you have people writing "nigger, go home," and this to the Muslims. And it's like, okay, all it is bringing people to the truth is coming out to who you are and your comprehension of what he's saying. So when they say "Make America Great Again," what does that mean? All of us, the Europeans, the blacks, the Chinese, we all leave, and we leave the Indians with their land? Is that what you mean by "Make America Great"? Let's get the hell off their property? Because I'm like, when was it ever great, as they say? When was America ever great? We're not talking the .com era. We're not talking everybody making money and getting rich. When was it great? So go back and let me know everything was perfect or pretty nice.
If I had
where you can get a job and no one.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Say what? I'm like, no, I'm 53, so look at that. I've seen the Klan march in my neighborhood when I was a kid. So I'm like, I still see the difference of things. So when was America great? So comedy to me is just one of the things that brings a little laughter when you see stressful moments, when you see people not being truthful or they're hurting one another. And it's just like the cop killing, the cops killing people, and the cops kill. All cops are not bad. All people are not bad. But when you're wearing a gun and it's like in the West out here, you're wild, wild West. You have your gun dropped low down to almost to your knees. Like you want to do a quick draw. Like we're getting a little carried away with, you got the UFC fights and people just figure, everything is like, let's fight. Let's fight. I have jokes about, when back in my days, you look at a cop and you did wrong. He know you did wrong, but he's across the street. You start stretching. Because you're about to run, and he knows you're about to run. He's like, don't do it. You're like, yeah, I'm about to. He's like, I don't want to have to chase you. Yeah, you have to chase you. But see, you even know each other because you went to school and they know your family. So they will actually chase you. Nowadays, the cops aren't in shape like they should be. And they're like, I'm just going to shoot you. I'm not going to chase you. That's too much work. Because what's the phrase? If I have to chase you, I'm going to be. So why chase you? This bullet will catch you quicker than I can. And that's what it seems like. It's just like, wow. I've seen, the videos they put out there, they only show you so much. But when you see somebody running and get shot in the back, it's like, oh, wow. Okay. Like I said, I've been pulled out at gunpoint a couple times, so it's just like, you just waiting to hear that noise. It's like, is it going to happen now? Is this the time? Keith, what are you? So.
No, personally, to answer.
It's hard. Huh?
Personally, to answer your question about what are the favorite years, or name some years, I would say the 80s and 90s, because nothing really happened during the 80s and 90s.
The only thing that was happening back in the 80s and 90s is you got serial killers that were happening, but there was not really, it wasn't crazy. People just doing their got the music, the rap, things like that, or you're looking at NAA coming out, doing some things back in those days, but it was still just trying to make a statement, and I think there was an OJ riots back then too. So, but I mean, aside from that, it was okay. It was okay, as they say, and sometimes I don't want to say it, but it's like white is privileged. I've seen it. I've worked in the corporate world, and I've been discriminated against in areas, but you just move on. You move on. You keep doing the best you can. That's all you can do. Fight it the best way you can with intelligence, not with your fist is not going to solve it. It's just going to bring you more anger, or it's going to bring you an ass whooping somewhere yourself, or you might get one, but you got to keep your back. You got to watch your back when that happens. You never know. So, like you said, comedy, you crack jokes, handicap, jokes by handicap. If you think after I get off that stage, somebody might be approaching me afterwards, don't appreciate that because they have somebody in their family that's, I don't think that was funny. And you're trying to defend it. It's like, oh, it's all a joke. It's like, well, it's not a joke to them. Yeah. Cancer, is that a joke? No. But if you crack jokes about it, it's like taboo.
Yeah,
the world's
people are just very sensitive. People are just oversensitive.
But what makes them sensitive? All the things they keep seeing as pasted on Facebook that they don't really know fully about. Educate yourself to the things and see, why it makes you sensitive. Don't just get the partial portion of it. Go in there deep, find out, and then you'll have a better idea. You don't just get mad because you heard something. You don't just get mad because 2 people said it, 3 people said it. Find out for yourself if it's actually happening the way they said it is. Now you have a right to either get upset or go in there and make a change. But to talk about it and to be angry about it, that's not changing anything. So too many people are ready to jump on a bandwagon just because they think that that's them helping to support, when really they probably can sit down and figure things out and hopefully go in there with some strategy and do some damage. Instead of like, yeah, we need to go protest, we need to go march, we need to go stand on the corner. Like, okay, and then you actually go ask, you see those interviews, you interview them and they don't have a clue to, what they're saying, and is all half cocked. You're like, what? What are you talking about? This is just a car wash. Why are you even here? Just stand on the corner. It's a car wash. You're the wrong crowd. We had signs, but your sign says abortion. So, I got the wrong address. I'm at the wrong spot. Oops. So people don't know. They don't pay attention, man. They just follow. Sheep. Bunch of sheep around here.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up the talk show.
Okay, now, first thing I say, I know this talk show is about interviewing and finding out me. I'm a comedian. That's what it was all about. I appreciate Keith having me on this show. Now, and it was not supposed to go in that deep about the politics, but it went there. My only response is, we the people are the ones that make the difference. So whatever's happening up there in the White House, yeah, we're going to pay attention. But everything starts where we're at. My next door neighbor, I need to find out what's up with my neighbor, or if I can help him out. Because there's a problem, I can't sit there and just watch and let it go by if he has a stroke or if he has medical issues. Check on it. Start becoming friends with the people that are around you instead of being an ass around the people around you and not helping people, because if we don't come together, then you will see an implosion that will happen.